Welcome to Audio Tales, a newsletter for the RossenTales Trust, Summer 2018. Harold turns 90. There are times when only a pint of Guinness will do to mark an occasion. At least, that is Harold Gormley's view in this, his 90th year. He's our most senior tenant and has lived at the Trust since his arrival in 1981. Harold and all of his many friends will be marking this momentous birthday with a number of celebrations later in the summer, involving music, sunshine, we hope, food, and quite possibly the featured drink, a lovely Guinness. Many happy returns to Harold. Hayley interviews Lindsay. For this edition of RossenTales, Braeside tenant Hayley interviewed her work taste coach, Lindsay Firth, to find out more about her. How long have you been working here at RossenTales? I've been working here since January this year as a work taste coach, but I've been coming for 3 years, supporting someone in Oakwood, so I know the Trust pretty well. Do you come from Macclesfield? I live in Macclesfield now, but I grew up in Holmes Chapel. I lived all over really, in Manchester and Salford, and then moved to Macclesfield to be nearer my job. Before that, I've also lived in Bollington, so not far away. What do you enjoy about being part of the work taste team? Well, I enjoy the variety of doing different placements like at B&M's with you and meeting new people. What type of music do you like? I'm going to be really boring now and say I like all types of music, from classical to indie and even country. There is a bit of everything on my playlist. Have you got a favourite film? Strangely, I actually really like horror films. Have you ever seen It by Stephen King? Yes, I was quite young and it frightened me to death. I think my favourite film is The Descent. Oh, what's that about? It's about a group of women that get stuck down a cave and get killed by zombie type cave dwellers. I also like 28 Days of Night, another zombie type film. Where do you go to on holiday, and what holiday plans have you got for this year? I like to travel. In fact, I've just come back from Mongolia and Russia, and at the end of June I'm going to Tanzania to do some voluntary work for 6 weeks. What will you be doing? Working in schools and orphanages, doing some painting and building, and hopefully working with the children too. I get to go on a one-night safari, which will be great. You must have tried loads of interesting food on your travels. What's your favourite dish so far? Well, I've seen lots of interesting food on my travels, but I've not tried them, like insects on sticks in Thailand and China, scorpions and spiders. In China, there is pretty much everything. Like a dog? Yes, probably that too. I don't really fancy trying that sort of thing. There's lots of yak and camel in Mongolia, and lots of sour curd type of food made from yak's milk. If you could try any job in the world, what would you like to do, and where would it be? Well, I think I'd love to do travel writing, as you get to travel the world and write about the places you've visited, and that would be my dream job. Keep the faith. Christina Black recently went to a Paloma Faith concert in Manchester. This is one of 5 concerts she has booked already this year. She was supported by Julia Honus. Christine has already seen the X Factor live tour and is looking forward to seeing Lisa Stansfield, Katy Perry and Shania Twain later in the year. Up for the Cup. Macclesfield Town Football Club were proud winners of the National League title this year, and as well as returning to the Football League next season, they also won a cup. Many of the tenants at the Trust's Cheshire sites are supporters of the team, so are plenty of Oakwooders, so they jumped at the chance to have the cup brought out to Sutton. Thanks to the club for handing it over. Fate! Come along to Rossendale Hall on Sunday the 5th of August between 12 and 4 p.m. and enjoy yourselves. There is something for everyone: tombola, games, ice cream, beer tent, barbecue, an interesting variety of stalls, plus afternoon tea served in our beautiful gardens. People still say, "We never knew it was here," when they discover our wonderful leafy oasis tucked away in Sutton. "30 years and counting." Debbie Falby, senior care worker at Canalside View, has this year completed 30 years working for the Trust. Deb used to work at Woodlands, the Trust's residential house on Byron's Lane in Macclesfield, and moved with all of the then residents to Canalside in 2011. To mark this event, she was presented with a bouquet of flowers by the Trust, joined by her colleagues who helped her to celebrate. Congratulations, Deb. £5,000 or bust? Local businessman Kevin Cook has chosen to keep on running for Rossendale. Kevin will run a series of races for Rossendale Trust and has pledged not to stop until he reaches his sponsorship target of £5,000. Kevin's mission started on June the 24th at the Wilmslow Half Marathon. We wish Kevin the very best of luck as he continues to pound the streets and sprints towards the finish. Keep an eye on our social media pages and website for updates and his progress. The London Marathon, an update. The Rossendale Trust London Marathon Runners 2018 were joined by their families and Trust tenants in London the night before the race to enjoy a much needed meal of pasta. Together, the team raised an almost £11,000 for the Trust. Ladies' Lunch. The Trust offered an exclusive package of food, beauty and entertainment at the Ladies' Lunch held recently at Mottram Hall. Guests enjoyed a 2-course gourmet lunch, a luxury goodie bag. Guests enjoyed a 2-course gourmet lunch, a luxury goodie bag and a unique shopping and networking experience whilst raising money to support the Trust. It was a wonderful, relaxed afternoon. There was also plenty of laughs. For example, when the guests were shown how to turn their complimentary scarves into a jacket. Clarence demonstrated how to put our best face forward this summer, whilst the team from SOS Boutique in Bramall showed us how to wear this season's latest styles in the fashion show. As one guest remarked, "I know I've spent far too much money, but never mind, it's all in a good cause." Thank you, ladies. We raised £2,400. Lucy's 10k challenge. Lucy Bevan successfully completed the Great Run 10k in the blistering heat of central Manchester recently. A tenant of the Trust for over 25 years, Lucy has complex health challenges including cerebral palsy and severe learning disabilities, neither of which has stopped her from taking part in the race. 3 of the Trust staff members, Jodie, Lucy and Jenny, have been inspired to support her on the run and help to fundraise. The race was started by Mo Farah, British Olympic champion. Lucy and the final wave of runners began the 10k route, reaching out toward the Manchester United Stadium and back to central Manchester. It was hoped Lucy would enjoy the race from a sensory point of view. The wind, acceleration, bumps, water and the roar of the crowds. It's easy to tell from the photographs that Lucy had the time of her life. Ros Bevan, Lucy's mother, alongside Jodie, Jenny and Lucy, set an ambitious target for Lucy's challenge, £3,000, which of course they exceeded, raising almost £4,000. The success of the race seems to have had an effect on Lucy, her mum and everyone involved. Ros said, "There is nothing fragile about Lucy, and although she cannot move or speak, you can tell when she is enjoying herself, and the whole lunacy of the hour and a half whizzing around 10k in Manchester was just her scene. All the noise, brass bands, choirs, cheering and people were stimulating to her senses, especially the showers." Leek United Building Society's Coco Mercer and Tim Dakin also took on the Manchester Great Run alongside RossenTales' own Hayley Moss. Team Leek United and Hayley raised almost £600. Lucy, Jodie, Lucy, Jenny, Coco, Tim and Hayley made this year's Manchester Great Run the greatest ever. Thank you. Make a Difference days. Many of the Trust supporters help us by getting away from their desk for a day and giving their time and energy to the Trust. Volunteering at one of our sites can be a fun and rewarding way for a team to develop new skills and work closely with colleagues whilst getting to know the RossenTales Trust. We offer opportunities for groups from 3 to 30, decorating or gardening, clearing paths, painting outside furniture. There are a wide and varied selection of jobs to do. Here is what some of our volunteers said about their day. It was great to see the excitement when they saw the finished shed, AstraZeneca. Amazing to see what a group can achieve in a few hours, NatWest. And the best moment? Meeting the tenants in the greenhouse. They were lovely. Chess. The speech at the end from Edward as it showed what we had done was really appreciated. Chess. Emily leaves her mark. Braeside tenant Emily recently joined in an art project in Macclesfield by painting a brick on the Park Lane underpass. 1,650 bricks were painted by residents of Macclesfield, both children and adults alike, and their efforts have transformed the drab tunnel into a community work of art. A Work Taste Tale. Heather Pennell, Work Taste coach, writes, Dougie Byram has been a Work Taste star and I'm very proud. Dougie Byram has been a Work Taste star and I am a very proud coach. It's been such a pleasure and a privilege to coach him from the start of his placement at the Co-op on Buxton Road throughout this year. Dougie started tentatively doing the restocking of shelves from back trolley stock, gradually built up his confidence taking on new tasks, which has led to him working with reducing items, using a price gun and ticket producing machine, and working behind the till, helping to serve customers. Dougie really enjoys his placement and has been very consistent with attending and is a joy to work with. "30 years at Cavendale." This year marks the 30th anniversary of the opening of Cavendale, a large bungalow in Buxton which is home for 6 tenants supported by the Trust. Like the rest of the Trust, Cavendale has undergone many changes over the years since August 27, 1988. But some things have endured. Former residents, now tenants Lynn and Gaynor, are both mentioned in the write-up from the RossenTales yearbook for 1989 to 90. And staff member Sue Langley is pictured in the same yearbook, and Sue is still with the Trust. This summer we will be gathering at Cavendale to celebrate this momentous anniversary with tenants, families, staff and friends. In some ways, the history of Cavendale reflects the changes in providing care over the last 30 years. When RossenTales took over the management, Cavendale was a home to a family of 6, people aged from 18 to 50, all residential placements, as was the practice at the time. Today, the Trust takes a person-centred approach to individual care, confirming that 4 key principles of rights, independence, choice and inclusion are at the heart of every person's support plan. Three Oakwood volunteers spilled the beans. Jeff Perry interviewed by Rupert. How long have you been volunteering at Oakwood? About 14 months now. What sort of things do you do when you are here? Working in the polytunnels, doing hanging baskets, pots and troughs with the horticulture group. What made you decide to come and volunteer for Oakwood? I was told to ring up and find out about volunteering, and it was the best thing I ever did. Tell us about a memorable experience you've had at Oakwood. Everybody being pleased to see me when I arrive just makes my day. What 3 words best describe how it feels to be working here? Happy, fulfilled, and needed. Peter Johnston, interviewed by Peter Jones. How long have you been volunteering at Oakwood? I've been volunteering for 4 years now. What sort of things do you do when you're here? Well, general gardening duties and working with the horticulture group. What made you decide to come and volunteer for Oakwood? Well, I was retired and my neighbour John was already volunteering. I also knew Alan and Mary Chapman, as well as a few others here. Tell us about a memorable experience you've had at Oakwood. There's far too many to say, really. Just sitting around chatting to everyone in the morning is my favourite thing. What 3 words best describe how it feels to be working here for you? Very rewarding experience. Daisy Lee, interviewed by Trevor. How long have you been volunteering at Oakwood? I don't know, I don't actually know. I think it's about 8 months. What sort of things do you do when you are here? I support people doing research on the computers and also how to use the iPads. What made you decide to come and volunteer for Oakwood? To use my spare time productively, and also it's a good experience to have. Tell us about a memorable experience you've had at Oakwood. Well, a very funny one, the day Edward tried to hide in a cardboard box. It was very funny. What three words best describe how it feels to be working here? Fun, worthwhile, friends.